Welcome everyone to Keep It a Buck Lantern Preview Style. Ohio State football is back. We know it's only been gone for a week, but Buckeye fans missed it, and so did we. So we're going to give you a preview of what to expect in their upcoming matchup this Saturday at the Shoe versus Marshall. So Daniella, let's keep it a buck. What should Ohio State fans and Marshall fans expect to see in this matchup against Marshall?
Yeah, of course. Well, both teams are coming out of their first of two bye weeks this past weekend. Ohio State is a 40.5-point favorite. The Marshall is coming off of their first loss of the season against Virginia Tech. It was a close matchup in the beginning of the game, but of course, Virginia Tech came out on top. And then, of course, as we know, Ohio State blew out Western Michigan, and the week before, they also blew out Akron.
Yes. And so also, Ohio State moved down to number 3 in the AP poll. What were your thoughts on that?
I mean, I can't say that I'm necessarily shocked given that they did have a bye week. There wasn't much to judge them off of. Also, because of the fact that you can argue that they haven't really played too many competitive teams. You know, we had Akron, Western Michigan. That's not to say that those aren't great teams. But, you know, Texas being number 1, beating the reigning national champion, Michigan, and then, of course, Georgia being number 2. They're a very dominant team as well, going against Clemson in the first week. So, I mean, I think the third place is a very great spot for the Buckeyes to be given the circumstances, but I definitely think here going on out, they're going to be going up those rankings.
Yeah, and I think, say if, for example, if they blow out Marshall, can they possibly move up to number 2? Georgia was in a close battle with Kentucky. But I don't see Ohio State moving up to number 2. I feel like that's a stretch.
I believe it will be a stretch as well. I think that
now, once conference play starts, they may be able to move up.
Once conference play starts, Michigan State game being just next weekend.
Yeah.
Given if they blow Michigan State out, they are undefeated currently right now. But maybe they go up. I just don't see even a blowout win this Saturday, them going up much at all.
Yeah, and let's talk about this offense and defense of Ohio State. Travion Henderson, obviously Gabe Powers. That was in the first matchup when they had a touchdown as well. But iron sharpens iron, right? Offense versus defense. We've talked about it so many times. And let's first start off with Ohio State's offense. Right now, nationally, they're ranked number 8 in total offense. They outscored opponents 108-6. That is crazy, right? 108-6. And Will Howard, right, the Kansas State transfer, is completing over 60% of his passes. And may I add, he's getting a lot of help from Jeremiah Smith. What are your thoughts on how he's performed so far?
First, I would like to just give a moment that it's been 2 games, and they've scored 108 points and let their opponents score 6. And obviously, those 6 points coming the first week against Akron. Insane. Give them an immense amount of props there. But, of course, that Will Howard-Jeremiah Smith connection is undeniably there.
Yeah.
They just seem to have this sort of bond. It seems on and off the field. We've heard both of them talk about their relationship and how they both came in the season as the new guys. Obviously, Will Howard is a lot older than Jeremiah Smith. But their relationship on the field, they just seem to find each other, and it's an insane thing to watch. It's great.
Yeah, and so that's Jeremiah Smith, the true freshman wide receiver. But then again, we also have the running back duo with Travion Henderson and Quinshon Judkins. Both players are averaging over 7 yards per carry. That's ridiculous, right? And then let's go over to the defense. Number 1 nationally in total defense, only allowing 138 yards per game. They surrendered only 6 points in the first 2 games. And they have not allowed an opponent to go in the red zone. So they're not even getting at the 20-yard mark. That's ridiculous. The defense also have scored 2 touchdowns. So they've scored more touchdowns than your opponents. Like, this is ridiculous, right? And then they also got their first shutout against Western Michigan on
five-year anniversary to the date.
Yeah, since 2019, their first shutout. And they talked about how they worked so hard to get that shutout, and they finally got it. What were your thoughts on that game as well as far as the defense? How did they play?
I thought the defense, obviously the offense, give them their props. They scored 56 points, but the defense not allowing a single point, not even a field goal, which, that's just insane to me. I think that they're just insane.
Yeah.
They're definitely, in my opinion, the best defense in the country right now. I don't know what other defense is out there doing what Ohio State defense is doing.
Yeah.
They're a monster.
Well, they say the stats prove it, and so far the stats have them ranked as number 1. So we're going to keep them at number 1, and let's see if they can get another shutout against Marshall. Now, let's keep it a buck. We have some fun facts for you all, okay? Daniella does not know these facts, only I do, so I hope you didn't look at the slideshow.
No, I didn't.
But let's keep it a buck. Fun facts. So Emeka Egbuka topped 2,000 career receiving yards against Western Michigan. He's only the 13th Buckeye to do so. Is this fact kind of surprising to you that he topped 2,000 yards? I feel like he had a fairly quiet game. What did you think? I feel like the running game really kind of took over against against Western Michigan. So
I believe that the running game definitely did take over, but at the same time, I feel like Emeka Egbuka is such a quiet force on the field. Yeah. He's there, but you don't see him.
Yeah.
His presence is there, but you're not seeing him do it.
Yeah.
So I'm really not shocked at the fact that he was able to reach that milestone.
That's really a good point. He really makes all the little plays that matter, right? When you need that third down or fourth down, he'll make that play. He'll make that catch. So totally agree. Okay, let's keep it a buck. Our second fact is true freshman Jeremiah Smith has 211 receiving yards on the season. This is the first time an Ohio State true freshman topped 200 receiving yards after only 2 games. Are you shocked by that at all?
No, I wish I could say that I was. The anticipation surrounding Jeremiah Smith preseason, once he committed, it was insane. I think everybody knew what to expect. Well, you know what, in a sense, I guess I am quite shocked. I didn't expect him to be that good. Because as a true freshman, to be able to do that, and especially at a program like Ohio State, you have to be very, very talented, and that he is.
Yeah, so is it safe to say he's living up to the hype so far?
100%.
I believe Geno Smith is his cousin, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so his cousin has said that he can be the best wide receiver here at Ohio State, and so far he is living up
on track
to the hype.
He's
okay?
only a true freshman. Only a true freshman.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jeremiah Smith. And our last fun fact. Okay, former Marshall coach Frank Elwood, his granddaughter Jordan is married to Ohio State's head basketball coach Jake Diebler.
Aww.
We have some Ohio State relationships here going on. Like, did that kind of shock you a little bit?
That does shock me, but I think it's really sweet. I think that's really cute.
Okay, well, thank you everyone for tuning in to the Lantern Preview. Keep it a buck. We'll see you next week. Have a good one.
It's Jayla Vanhorn
And Daniella Davila
with Lantern TV.